Hi! Welcome. Today we're talking about Jephtha's daughter. Now, if you don't know who Jephtha is, the story of Jephtha is one of the most difficult stories in the Bible. Jephtha is an Israelite and about to go to war against Israel's enemies. He vows that if God grants him victory, he will sacrifice whatever comes from his door to greet him first. He wins the battle, and when he returns, his daughter runs out to meet him. She asks one last wish, that she may mourn her lack of marriage for 2 months. And the story ends explaining that this is the reason Israelites, at the time of the writing of Judges, commemorate Jephtha's daughter. From Judges 11:34 through 35. When Jephtha returned to his home in Mizpah, who should come out to meet him but his daughter, dancing to the sound of timbrels? She was an only child. Except for her, he had neither son nor daughter. When he saw her, he tore his clothes and he cried, "Oh no, my daughter, you have brought me down, and I am devastated. I have made a vow to the Lord that I cannot break." Judges 11, Jephtha's daughter. Starting out this class with the reflection question. I'm going to tell you a story about a girl named Susan. Susan was a girl about 5 years ago in my youth group. And what she did was, she said that she prayed one night that God would make her popular. She said, "If you make me popular, I would do anything that you ask of me." Next day she went to school, and a bunch of friends asked her if she would go to a party that Saturday night. She said sure, she would love to. She was like, "Lord, you made me popular. I'll do anything you ask." Right then, another kid from our youth group came and asked her if she would take her to visit her grandmother, because her grandmother was sick and she couldn't drive, but Susan could. Susan said sure. And she said, you're a blessing from the Lord. And Susan felt this was really God telling her to take this other girl to see her grandmother. Of course, right before they were going to part ways, Susan's friend looked at her and said, "Okay, could you do it on Saturday night? Same night as the party." So, the question I have for you is, what would you do if you were Susan? I would have them reflect on what would they do if they were Susan. So the history. Israelites are in a time of judges. Judges are ruling them, and Jephtha is not, he's not your normal judge. The reason that he is leading Israel right now is because of his military experience, because he's a fierce fighter. But he's the son of a prostitute, which in itself is a scandal. And now he has one and only daughter. And he tells the Lord, "If you help me beat the Ammonites, first thing that walks through my door, I will sacrifice to you." It comes out of my door. I don't know if he was thinking there would be an animal or if there would be a servant, but for him to make this promise to the Lord. A lot of debate going on whether Jephtha, a lot of people say he didn't know his scriptures. He didn't know that the Lord is against sacrificing humans. They said that because he was the son of a prostitute, that he would never have the training. So that we have Jephtha, the characters. We have his daughter, and we have the Ammonites. These are the three main characters of the story. The setting. Well, they're going into battle, and the Israelites have asked Jephtha if he would lead them into battle. The plot. Ship and Stetson write, Jephtha, at the very least, showed a lack of faith in God's promises. He made a huge mistake by choosing to offer a human sacrifice, an agreement with the Lord. After defeating the Ammonites, the first person to come out of his house to greet him with rejoicing was his daughter. And even though she knew that she was going to be killed, she still returned to her father to keep the vow that he had made with the Lord. At this time, in Israel's history, it was a terrible, terrible disgrace if you were to die and never to have had children, to still be a virgin. And so she asks if she can go and mourn the fact that she had never been married. But she still returns for her father to fulfill the vow that he made to the Lord. I think that says a lot about her character. Why would God let Jephtha's daughter be sacrificed? This is the question that seems to be pondering everyone who studies this. Why would God, who obviously from all the different passages in the Bible, in Leviticus chapter 18 verse 21, in Leviticus chapter 20 verses 2 through 5, in Deuteronomy 18:10, he says he is against human sacrifice. Now, why would God not prevent this from happening? There is our lesson on Jephtha's daughter. Some wonderful illustrations here, some beautiful paintings on some renditions that people have, some paintings on this very short passage of Scripture from Judges chapter 11. People have made beautiful paintings on this over the years. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Thanks.